Okay, I know it's been a long time since I did an update on the railroad. I've been doing some other things. I got an airplane finished that I was working on that I showed you in the last video. And I just got back from New Mexico and Colorado riding the narrow gauge trains with my best friend and my son. We had a fabulous time, and I would highly recommend both those trips. The Chama train out of Chamba, the Cumbre and Toltec, and the Durango and Silverton rides are wonderful train trips pretty much any time of the year. Anyway, let me switch this around and we'll show you what's going on. Remember the last video, it doesn't look much different, but I did get the first part of the track down. This is the standard gauge that will be the bottom reversing loop in what I call the helix complex. It's not really a helix, but it will be a mountain area right here that will have both gauges in it. But this is the bottom of the standard gauge. It's going to be coming out over here on this other side and coming around on the lower side, and I have decided to add some staging tracks that will come around back over to my left, over to the left of the screen here a little bit. That will give me a little bit of area to store some trains and have more place to get them started, get them staged. It'll come up around this window with the narrow gauge. Will be up on the upper level, which will be close to the ceiling there. And then I've got a little more height over here. We'll be able to come around and come on around to the part that I showed you originally. And if you hold on just a minute, I'll go back down to the shop where I've cleaned out the airplanes, and I'm in the process of building some turnouts for the new line. Okay, here we are back out in the shop. These are the few airplanes that I've got left that I haven't sold or given away or crashed. There's a couple on the wall that I've built over the years. But as you can see, I've cleaned out the big airplane that was in here. I got it done for a friend of mine. And now I'm working on building some turnouts for the new railroad. We have come up with a name for the new railroad using my first and middle name initials and my son's first and middle. It's going to be called the Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction. This is an HO scale 32 and 25 degree radius curve turnout that I'm building right now. The fast track system allows you to do very nice looking turnouts and pretty much custom make them to what you want. It looks like it can be expensive on the face, and it is up front, but when I added up how many turnouts I was going to need, I actually will come out ahead by building my own. Some of the stuff I've gotten on sale, closeout stuff that they had, most of it I paid what they asked for it from the site. Here are several of the turnouts that I've already done. This is get over here where you can see it. This is a HON3 curve turnout, one of them that I've done. And they will go on what they call the quick sticks, which are these right here. We'll glue them down and those snap off this board. On the straight rail, I'll hand lay all the ties, but I have several number 4 turnouts. I have several number 6 turnouts. I've got a curved jig, and I also have a 3-way and a Y jig right there for the HON3. But the dual gauge turnouts will actually allow me to make not only dual gauge turnouts, but I can also build a standard gauge turnout that has a narrow gauge that comes into it. In other words, on the diversion leg can either be just standard or just narrow gauge, and I can go double with the other one or vice versa. So it's can be very good to be able to make whatever I need for the layout, because I build kind of like Steve Brown builds. I build on the fly kind of. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this part of the hobby. I enjoy watching trains run also, but this is proven to be really fun to do. I don't do how to do it videos just because I don't have the equipment to set up and show you how to do that. Nor do I really want to take the time to try and do that. But on their website, I suggest if you're interested, go to their website, and they've got several videos on how to build them. Very, very, very good teaching videos on how to build their turnouts. And they've got them, I think, all the way from Z. Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of memory on the phone, so I had to go upload some of the videos. I'll get those put together and get on the site. They do, I was about to say, they have jigs all the way from Z scale through N scale, HO scale, S scale, O scale. I don't think they have G scale, but you really don't need G scale. Most people won't need G scale. But they even have NN3, so narrow gauge in N scale, which is very small. So Steve Brown, if you're watching, you need to get some narrow gauge on your layout. Anyway, in the meantime, after I ran out of video, I finished the turnout I had in the jig, and I don't have it glued down yet, but that's what it'll look like pretty much. And then when you paint it and stuff, they're really nice looking turnouts. But anyway, this was just a quick video to get something back up. I've got lots of pictures from my recent trip, and I will try and get those incorporated somehow, probably just in a slideshow. I do have a little bit of video from it. I was having trouble with my memory cards that I had. Some of them just wouldn't work. So I got stuck with not nearly as much video as I wanted to shoot while we were gone. But I will try and get those also up pretty quick. But this one I'll probably get up tonight. Anyway, until next time, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.